Hello, this is the help video for Exchange 2010 client configuration and agent installation. I'll show you how to get specifically the Mailbox agent installed. So let's go ahead and start by adding a new client. Mailbox backup to be successful, we need to install the 32-bit agent. So we'll choose just the regular MS Windows here as the operating system. I'll go ahead and change the address so we point to the right system. I'll make a change to the file set. I don't really need to back up my C drive. I can let the plugin get the Exchange Mailbox to run. So I'm going to let that handle everything, and I'm not going to worry about my C drive. So you could do the same thing. You don't need to specify or call out where your mailboxes or where your Exchange databases live. We can just let the plugin handle all of that. It'll go out and find each individual mailbox and back them up. I'm really not going to make too many other changes in here. Should be able to get everything set up and running just from this. You may want to go ahead and set up your job recycling or enable or disable the deduplication. But for this video, I'm just going to go ahead and click on Apply and activate those changes. Okay, so I've got a client defined, pointing to the right location. Now I need to get my software installed, get the agent running so that I can get my green check mark. Go ahead and download the 32-bit agent. And we'll just go ahead and run that. Since we're on Exchange, or rather, since we're on Windows 2008, you'll want to right-click on this and run it as administrator. Accept the various agreements, and we should have the Exchange Mailbox level plugin already selected by default. We'll just continue with that. I'll clean up some of these other windows while I wait. Okay, this little message popped up. Anytime we run an Exchange Mailbox level backup, we need to make sure that the user account that we run as has the correct permissions or is a member of the correct groups. So in the example of Exchange 2010, our user needs to be a member of the Exchange Trusted Subsystem as well as a built-in administrator. So we'll just kind of be aware of that and click on OK. Okay, if you're all set up in your Active Directory, you could just run this lookup. Otherwise, go ahead and just do the manually assign and run the wizard. Find the correct appliance. Enter in the appliance password. Okay, if that window hides behind, just bring it back. You can just click on the RVX config button on your taskbar. So now we've got my appliance information in here. I'll go ahead and check the service control. In this case, since we're running on Exchange, we're running on Windows 2008, this needs to be disabled. You'll run system state backups a different way, and I'll show that in a different video. But as that little warning reminded us, we cannot run as the local system, which is our default setting. Instead, we'll need to run as a user account. So I'll enter in my user. Alright, so the agent is now running as my user. I'll just show you this other Mailbox backup tab. You can see by default it is enabled to run the message level backups, which is good, that's what we want. And then this list here will show up any Mailbox databases that you have. If you click on that Mailbox database, it will generate the list of all of the user accounts belonging to that mailbox. A couple of other notes. If you wanted to exclude certain mailboxes, you could just simply uncheck them. There's a clear all button or a check all button. That should help you in making those selections. Also, if you did not want to back up, perhaps you have years and years worth of backups and you don't really want to get everything, you're only worried about maybe the last 90 days or 60 days or something. If you make that selection, then you can shrink the size of your Exchange mailbox level backup, and as well as save a little bit of space. So a few handy tools there. I'll go ahead and just hit apply, or rather I guess I could just hit OK. And now if we go over here and look at our summary, I now have my check mark. So at this point you would think you'd be ready for Exchange message level backups, but there are a few extra steps. If you need some extra steps, or if you would like, you can contact Revenetics support and they can email you a checklist of things you'll need to review and make sure you have set in place so that the backups will work. But we'll just go ahead and cover the rest of those in this video. The next step that we'll need to take is to download what's called the Exchange, MAPI, and CDO objects or libraries. So to do that, we'll go to Microsoft.com, and just at the top of their website, enter in that file name, Exchange MAPI CDO.exe. Run a search on that. Should be the very top item. So the reason for this is starting in Exchange 2007, Microsoft changed the way they do things and just left out this MAPI stuff, which a lot of people and applications still depend on, including Revenetics. So we'll download that. You can go ahead and run that. It's actually just going to extract stuff. I'll give it this location. Extraction complete, and you see it right here. Now if I drill down inside of this, then you'll actually see an executable that will run a few steps here. This should be a pretty short and simple thing to install. The greatest challenge that it presents, though, is that it requires a reboot at the end of it. Even though it doesn't say so, the MAPI tools won't really be implemented into the along with the database until the system gets rebooted. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and clean a few things up, and we'll start up a reboot. So I'm just going to pause the video here while I get my restart going. Okay, my Exchange server is rebooted, so we'll just log back in here. And that should be it. Once you've got those steps completed, we'll just verify that the agent came back. I should now be ready to go ahead and start and run a backup, but we'll cover that in the next video. Thanks.